Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon and welcome back to the Ipswich Indoor Sports Centre. Continuing coverage of the 2023 Indoor Cricket National Championship Finals Series run by host Captain Walter. We're here today by knowledge of nutrition items and labels which will be today and to the narrow present in the meeting and extend our respect to any Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people here today. It's my pleasure to introduce you to the women's grand final for 2023. Please join me in congratulating first the umpire standing in today's final, Ben Ridgway. And introducing first the defending champions, led out by their captain, Megan Dixon, Queensland. And their opponents, led out by their captain, Adelaide champion, Victoria. Well, ladies and gentlemen, here at the venue and at home, buckle up and get ready for the big dance. But first, if you are able, please be upstanding for the Australian National Anthem.
Stephen Mogg, Queensland won the toss, batted first. What do you make of that?
Look, I think they're just going to try and put a big score on the board here and put some pressure on the Victorian team. These teams have played each other 3 times in the round game so far. It's 2-1 to Queensland, so they've got the slight advantage here. Both teams are pretty evenly matched. Victoria's had a pretty tough road. Queensland come straight through, finishing top, straight through the grand final. The Victorians had a really tough game yesterday as well. So the question is, does that benefit them playing a tough game leading in, or is it benefit to have the rest as well? So I think this is going to be a cracking game of cricket as well.
Yeah, I've no doubt. You mentioned Queensland 2-1 on the ledger. First game 109 to 86. Second game went the way of Victoria, 104 to 98. And the third game, Queensland chasing down Victoria's 88 with 118. So I think critically, all of those matches, slightly different combinations, different teams batting first, all sorts of stuff. So difficult to pick, but I think the lesson in that is that it is anyone's game, particularly in a national final. Batting first, Queensland are opening with Lily Orzio and Ash Doble. Ella Balch is going to open the bowling. Ladies and gentlemen, settle in at home. There's a big grand final coming at you live from Ipswich Indoor Sports. Umpire Ridgeway signals play, and we're underway. Oh, what a start. Ash Doble, a superstar, finds the side net in the back court for 3.
Yeah, what a start. Great confidence builder there for Ash Doble. Excellent start. Her batting partner, Lily Orzio, is new to the team this year. Oh, there's that spot outside off stump. Keeps nice and low.
It's come through the junior sides, Orzio.
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, I'm certain I've mispronounced that name before.
I'm glad it was you, not me. I'm terrible at that sort of thing, mate. But good start here for both teams. It's a little flat. It's good contact and good call. As a result, 2 runs for Queensland. We've talked about it all day. The crowd just seems to be growing, especially now the 2 main events are on.
Yeah, it's packed.
Standing room only.
Yeah.
All class there by Ash Doble. Been a regular member of this Queensland team for a number of years and represented Australia. Well, this shot for 2. 2 balls remaining in this first over. It's flat again. Again, good contact and good calling. So 2 very similar shots. Another 2 runs to the score for Queensland, moving them to 9.
Final ball of the opening over. It's heating up here in Ipswich.
In more ways than one. It's
Yeah.
quite warm, actually.
It'll be a dot ball to finish. What was a great start for Queensland. 9 runs from it. Batting first in the women's final. A couple of notable omissions from the Victorian side. Talk about, their long-time captain, Nicole Martin, who's not here at the tournament. Will they miss her? But Adelaide Campion doing a great job. And Laura Shaw, injured, I think, on day 2 of the tournament. I was talking to her before the game. Diving and has injured herself to the point where she couldn't continue in the tournament. So another big out for Victoria. She's certainly still here and playing a role for this side. Just not on the court. Will they miss her? Maddie Wright will bowl the second over.
Off spin, just turned a little bit too far. Probably erred a little bit. Started on the leg stump line and that one spun down the leg side line for a wide. 2 runs for Queensland. This has been one of the interesting divisions in this competition. Plenty of flight. It's a little bit flat. Good dive by Ash Doble to get safe. Yeah, there's only a couple of 3 teams here in this Open Ladies division. They've played against a lot of the under-22s teams, so really good experience for those younger ladies coming through to play against some of the superstars of the game. And it's resulted in perhaps some slightly easier games for these Open women's teams. Plenty of flight again. Good feet by Ash Doble. Pushes that through for another 2 runs. So some slightly easier games, but we noticed in the mixed results when the Open ladies have played against each other as well. So it's been a pretty good quality competition so far, and we're expecting a big grand final here today. Plenty of flight on that one. No ball too high call. Perhaps a little unlucky. Bit of collision there between the fielder and the batter. So that'll be a no ball 2 plus the 2 runs from the shot scored as well. So 4 valuable runs for Queensland. Evidenced by the earlier scores between these teams. There's been a lot of scores just over that 100 mark. Shot for 2 again. So I think Queensland will be looking for 100 plus. Probably like a little bit more, maybe 110, 115. But I think we'll be happy with 100 because it is a big game, it is a grand final, and there's a lot of pressure involved in these games as well. There are 2 balls remaining left in this second over of the game. Queensland moving along nicely to 19 runs. Just a slight change in the field of 2 on the leg side.
Here's Wright. Throws it up again. Nice flight. The dot ball. One ball remains.
Yeah, good result for Victoria. I think the plan will be to try and take some consistent wickets against this fairly strong batting lineup for the Queensland team.
Enough width and great movement for Izio, but there was an opportunity there at the keeper's end. Victoria aren't able to capitalise. Instead, it is another... I could have sworn they ran. Yeah, the umpire initially put that in as a dot ball. I was like, what game am I watching here? But yeah, 2 runs. They get 12 runs off the over. Halfway through this opening batting partnership, Queensland are in a strong position.
They certainly are.
Talked about the Open Women's playing games against the 22 Women's. How does that change the way that you prepare through a tournament? It must add a dynamic. Perhaps an unwelcome one in some respects. It's difficult to gauge where you're at if you're playing the age teams that lack the experience and perhaps some of the firepower. We'll come back to it. Here's Montague.
Cricket ball, well played there by Izio. Oh, look, it does change the dynamics a little bit. I think probably the advantage of it is there's less importance on winning all of your games potentially. I mean, I still think you are going to win a lot of those games against those younger teams, but it probably gives you an opportunity to play a few more of those players. It's another dot ball, brings a third ball up here. Probably brings that opportunity to play a few more of your non-top 8 players, your 9 through 12, and give them a few more games and a little bit more exposure, which can be good. It can help develop those players along the way as well.
So it's third ball here, 2 consecutive dot balls, an opportunity because the score has to change. Driven straight back left for the receiver, Adelaide Campion. What a sensational piece of fielding that is from the skipper. I tell you what, Montague made a late decision, the right decision, but a late decision to leave it. Campion had to adjust at the last minute, and as she was falling over to her left, throws down the stumps with a direct hit. That's a great piece of back stump work. Yeah,
no, it was excellent work. And that's what the Victorians are going to need. A little bit of inspiration in the field, and it's come from their skipper on today's game. This has been an excellent over so far. 2 dots, a wicket, followed by another dot ball. Exactly the result that Victoria will be looking for. Queensland on 16 with 2 balls remaining in this third over. It's class of Ash Doble there, bangs that one for an easy 2. Beautiful shot, moves the score now on to 18.
Yeah, Doble's just been the definition of a superstar for Queensland for, gee, what seems like an eternity now.
Yeah, not just Queensland, Australia too. She's been a consistent performer. Good call. 1 run there resulting from that last ball of the over there in the third.
-2 from it, thanks to that run out on third ball and a sharp piece of fielding from the Victorian skipper. They needed that, Victoria. This opening pair for Queensland were looking at 40 at the pace they were going. And, it's going to be Rockcliffe. No, she's coming up to cover Campion. The Adelaide Campion, the Victorian captain, will buy the last over to the partnership. I think the umpire has been fooled the same way I was and put Rockcliffe in the scoreboard, but certainly Campion. Deflection. Yeah, go back.
Good start there. Bowled the ball nice and just Lily's just hit that one a little bit flat directly into field, so there was no run there. It's a good call. Queensland will look to try and build on their score of 19 with 5 balls left.
Oh, what a rock that is from the skipper. Fortunate for Uozio that it hit her in the legs. It'll be third ball now, a real opportunity once again here for Victoria.
Just moving the field slightly, a little bit straighter. So that one flat on the leg side, but into the gap, and that's 2 runs. Moving the score to 21 now with 3 balls left in this first pair. Queensland looking to consolidate a little bit. Again, probably looking for that 100 plus. So I would like at least 25 to be on track or similar to. Well weighted by Dale. One was given a little bit more flight on the leg stump. Just waited and give that a nice little paddle for a nice easy down up two, making it easier for a batting partner to run through. 2 to come.
Chance at the top. Oh, the throw was a little high. Rockcliffe couldn't gather. And they get through to Queensland with 2.
I think a direct hit there would have been another wicket for the Victorians. Shot up for 3 and onto the back net for 4. What a finish there by Hashdoble. That's a massive shot.
Yeah, moves them to 29 for the partnership. And a little fist bump before saying no interest in another run. And that's a great opening partnership for Queensland. If you just joined us, it's the women's final here at the 2023 Indoor Cricket National Championships. We're live from Ipswich Indoor Sports. I'm Cameron Walter, and with me, Stephen Mogg. You'd be pretty happy banking 29 from your opening pair.
Exactly right. Yeah, great start.
Emily Valance and Chelsea Garn have entered the court for Queensland, tasked with continuing this accumulation of runs.
Yeah, look, Emily Valance has been a regular member of this Queensland team for a number of years, represented Australia at the Opens level as well. Chelsea is one of the younger, newer members in the team. She came into the team to replace Dools, who unfortunately had to withdraw during an injury. And she's come in and she's been exceptionally good this week as well. So it's a young player that's come through the system as well. Played under 21s last year, was originally named in that team for Queensland, but with the withdrawal of Dools, who's a true champion of indoor cricket in Queensland and in Australia for that matter, has had her opportunity and she's taken it with both hands. This is a bit interesting here. We've got Stacey Rockcliffe bowling. Stacey,
former Queenslander.
Former Queenslander, yeah. So former 21, so they would have been teammates here, her and Chelsea last year.
Wider start for Chelsea Garn. Yeah, Rockcliffe, if I'm not mistaken, was the captain last year at the Queensland under 22. So wonder how she feels right now, playing against her former state, having made the move to Victoria. Oh, she gets through, and a wicket falls. The second one of the innings through the hands of Stacey Rockcliffe.
Yeah, brilliant delivery there. That one's done a fair bit off the pitch, cut back in, pitched well outside off stump and it's taken the top and middle by the looks of it. Excellent start by Rockcliffe against Emily Valance, who's generally a very solid batter. Similar ball, just a little bit wider. Emily Valance has corrected herself and played that nicely for 2 runs. One thing I love about Chelsea again is she's always got a smile. She's such an animated player. She really loves the battle. I think she's been a great addition for this Open Ladies team. That's good. She didn't run on contact there. Waited for her batting partner, Emily Valance, to give her the nod through. Good eye contact. And a single score, bringing the score for this pair back to 0.
Rockcliffe continues with 2 to come.
A little bit short, a little bit wide. Emily Valance is just too good.
Grabs 2, and 1 ball remains. What a great shot it is from Garn to close out the over. Despite the loss of that wicket, it's a positive one for Queensland. 4 runs from it.
Yeah, not a bad result considering they did lose one. So they're just still building a score a little bit. 4 runs, I'll take that. Especially with the loss of 1 wicket.
So Damaro to bowl now for Victoria. The national title on the line.
This has been a fairly evenly contested competition throughout the years, especially with Victoria and South Australia and Queensland. Queensland having the success in recent years. It's an inside edge. Good call by the batting partner, Valance, which allows that to go through for the single, I believe. Yes, it is.
Oh, what a shot from Valance. Smacks it on the onside, high into the back net for 7. Huge runs in a final. Anytime you spank it into that back net, and that's what she does.
And Chelsea, her batting partner, loves it. I think she enjoys that more than Emily herself. That's a big shot in the context of the game. Queensland were under a little bit of pressure. That just relieves the pressure valve.
Oh, get through is half a chance there.
1 run scored to Queensland, bringing their total to 13 with 3 balls left in the second over of the skin, moving the team total along to 42. And almost a touch in the front court. Good presence in the front court field there by the Victorians. Gets a little bit of a touch. But Queensland still coming through for the single. Correct call. Just turns that one on the leg side there, straight to the fielder, and a call of no. Nice and early. Queensland on to 14 for the skin with the last ball of the second over, moving their team total along to 43.
It's a single to finish. Another good over there for Queensland, 11 from it. Fighting back well after the loss of that early wicket. .15 halfway through the pair. How did Victoria respond? Queensland doing well, just accumulating here, as they tend to do, Moggy.
They do, yeah. Look, it's been a really good start by them as well. Our first pair did particularly well, hitting 29. A little bit of trouble early, but did a good job. This pair's off to a fairly solid start. 15 coming from the first 2, with the loss of a wicket too. Big drive. It's played flat, but avoids the field, and an easy 2 runs to Chelsea Guard. South Australia probably just need to try something a little bit different here to try and create an opportunity. Straight to the front court. Great bit of fielding up the front there. Really good shot from Valance, but exceptional fielding by Victoria. It's created that uncertainty and resulting in 0 runs from that particular delivery. Push. 3 runs. Good result for Queensland. It was flat, just pierced the field. Slight little misfield by the Victorians, resulting in the 3 runs, moving Queensland to 20 for the pair, with 3 balls remaining in this second stanza. Wide outside off stump. Chelsea Garnes too good with that. Plays that for a down up 2.
I think with 2 balls remaining in the 7th over, I think Victoria might have ended up with an extra ball or something early in that first pair. Just been quietly looking back at the game. So at some point in that partnership, the umpire has switched the 2 batters around. And it's happened somewhere in Madeline Wright's over, the second over of the match. It looks to me, it's a bit difficult to do while I'm trying to, that shot comes in to the backcourt as well. 4 runs to finish the over. Another big over there for Queensland. 11 runs from it, 1 over to come in the pair. Yeah, it's a little difficult to do while I'm trying to watch the game live and look back at it as well, but it looked as if something went wrong in that over, an extra delivery or something for Queensland. I'm not quite sure how it's reflected on the scoreboard, but yeah, something's gone wrong there in that first pair. So the scores are wrong on the score sheet for the 2 opening bats, and I think there's an extra delivery in there. I'll have to go back and look later, but
yeah, look, there was a little, at one stage he did put a dot ball up when it was going to be a third ball, so maybe it could have been in and around that point in time.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to go back and look at that later. But yeah, interesting. Tamsin Wright to bowl the last over to the pair.
Wide, flirted with that outside line there, but just snuck in.
I don't know if any of our viewers at home want to go back and review that second over from Madeline Wright, see whether it was indeed 6 deliveries. There's 2 to Valance.
I'm sure someone will help us out. Yeah, Queensland cruising along nicely here. 28 runs for this pair, moving the team total to 56. So they're well on track at this point in time. Victoria would love a wicket.
Good response there from these two. It's good contact on the ball, but straight into the fielder.
Yeah, what was impressive there was the call of no, waiting to see where the ball went. Not running on contact, which can sometimes get you in trouble. She made really good contact with the ball. Dances down, uses her feet well, just pushes it on the leg side, pierces the gap for another 2 runs. Moving the total to 30.
Still 2 to come as well. Oh, what a rock from Tamsin Wright. These two were looking in complete control. And Tamsin comes up with that delivery. Just a little cutter, it looked like, and came in and took the leg stump.
Yeah, may have hit that low spot that there is on the outside that off stump too. Looked like it kept it a little bit low. That's a vital wicket for the Victorian girls. Just a key wicket at a key time. Just keeps the score under 30 with the last ball to come for this skin. Aggressive shot by Emily Valance to try and make up for it.
Happily take the dot though. 25 on the board. Still such an even contest unfolding before you, ladies and gentlemen. Again, if you have just tuned in, you've come to the Ipswich Indoor Sports Centre where the finals for the 2023 Indoor Cricket National Championships are underway. It's the women's final, the big dance between Victoria and Queensland. Queensland finished on top, advanced straight through to the final. Victoria had to win against South Australia in the prelim, and win they did. Made it through to today's final. And 54 on the board. Talked about 100 or thereabouts being a really competitive score. Despite losing a late wicket there, Queensland still well on track, Moggy.
Yeah, I think that's par for the course at this point in time. They had an opportunity to sort of push ahead a little bit, but 54, that's double that, brings us to 108. That's going to be a fairly competitive score. But there's still plenty of work to go. There's 8 overs in this batting pair to come, this batting innings to come.
Yeah, that's an eternity in indoor cricket, isn't it? An absolute eternity. So it is Donovan and Sam Dixon at the crease. It looks as if Montague will bowl her second over.
And for -2 in that first one as well, so it was a good over in that first pair. Flirted with the leg side line, just snuck inside. Perfect start.
Yeah, that's where you want to be.
It's another solid pair here for Queensland. Sam Dixon, one of the 3 Dixon sisters playing in this team this year. Bang.
Oh. Full driven deflection. It's going to be 5 all day.
Yeah, I think the deflections actually helped that being a 5. It may have been a 4, may have taken a little bit of the side net first.
Yeah.
But that's a great result. Sam Dixon is a quality bat. Just to overpitch their Montague and has allowed her to drive that to the back net. A little bit uncertain, a little bit edgy. Correct call of no. Nice presence in the front court up there by Victoria. Created that uncertainty for Queensland.
Yeah, I've got confirmation. Maddie Wright's over. 7 balls.
Ooh.
So something's gone wrong there.
Rightio. Lovely shot by Donovan for 2. So first scoring shot, so should be happy with that. Just builds the confidence a little bit. Queensland move to 7 with 2 balls left in this over. Right. That was nice of Victoria to give Queensland an extra ball.
Yeah.
How good was that shot by Sammy Dixon? Nothing wrong with that delivery. It's probably the top of the leg stump. Sammy's just got nice and tall. Probably just backed away a little bit and just banged that one up into the springs for a lovely 2.
Isn't it interesting? You know, I can understand how a 7-ball thing would occur. You know, it's just entering the scoreboard, doesn't go down. Whatever the case is, here's Montague last delivery. Straight back down the pitch, it'll be a dot. But still a great start for Queensland. 9 runs from that over. But you would think the bowler would notice that.
Well, there's been a number of times where bowlers have come back expecting an extra ball. So
True.
maybe she's enjoyed the fact that she has 7 balls in the over. So on the scorecard, have they gone score above and score? Is there 2 scores?
No, there's certainly only 6 results in the score sheet. But there's somewhere where the strike changed. So Orzio faced the first delivery of the over. It was a leg side. And she also... And Ash Doble, I can't remember, but the next over, Orzio faced the first ball as well, but in the score sheet, it's Doble. So something is amiss there. Let's hope it's all academic in the end. Here's Maddie Wright, hopefully to bowl 6 balls.
Paddles that one around the corner. I think it's taken the back net, and perhaps only for a single. Yes. Or maybe we just let a bowl 5 here. We'll square it up. Saying that, we have no say. That's in the umpire's more than capable hands. Gives that one a fair bit of flight. Beats it with flight. Peel for a caught behind, I think, but I believe there was a bit of a gap between bat and ball.
Right, so what's happened, and thanks to our viewers at home, there's actually a 2 that I believe Ash Doble scored that is not in the book, and that's through for 7. Campion didn't pick that up. It was certainly a catching height. Didn't have to do too much to move and catch that.
I think that's deceived everyone there too. Like, Donovan used her feet, but I think she was beaten with the flight of the ball from Madeline Wright. And just hit that for 7, but it never went above head height, so I'm unsure. Just might have been a little bit unsighted there. I would have thought that they would have tried to take a catch. Big shot for Queensland.
Oh, 100%. One well watched there from Sam Dixon. We'll just come back to that second over as we analyse what's happened. 2 balls remain.
Madeline Wright comes in the bowl to Sammy Dixon. Plenty of flight. Wanted to come forward to it. It's rocked back and adjusted and just put the bat in front of it. Good deception, good flight. This is impressive bowling. So you think you've got it all worked out now? That second over?
I do, yeah. Thanks to our viewers. I'll talk you through what's happened at the conclusion of this over. Oh, some indoor cricket royalty in the house. Donna Dalby over there, the Hall of Famer. Here in the stands.
Oh, what a bit of fielding.
Yeah, keeps it to 1, brings the over to an end. Another good one, though, for Queensland. 11 runs off it. Right, so the second over, the third ball was a 2. And that 2 was to Ash Doble. which took her off strike. That ball was not recorded in the score sheet. So the subsequent delivery, which was a no ball 2, which Orzio faced, was recorded against Ash Doble. So the over was leg side, 2, 2, no ball 2, 2, 0, 2. 7 deliveries.
Right.
And that one of those 2s is missing from the score sheet. So
we're a bit robbed of 2, right? Oh, no, not really. If the 7th ball went for 2 anyway.
Yeah, so the extra delivery, same runs. Yeah. So, yeah, you could argue that cancels it out. The 11th over now to be bowled by Webber.
Big drive. Sam pulls out the big dive. I'm sure if that was 2 or 3. It was very close to the line. Been given 3 by the umpire, Ben Woodtray. Queensland cruising along here too, 23. But they've done this in most of their pairs, but Victoria have come back with a key wicket at a key time. So Sam has to get on the stomach again for a big dive.
Look, I'm going to harp on about this for a while, because, but the scorebook's certainly paramount. You know, what's in the book is what counts. But I can stomach the extra delivery. You know, that happens. I get that. But the missing runs bothers me. They faced that delivery. They scored those runs. There's 7 more of them. Sam Dixon's here to party. Grabs 7. Some aggressive shots from these 2. I like it, Moggy.
Yeah, they are. They're really turning it on here in Queensland. They're really pushing ahead with this game at the moment. That's a big shot by Sam Dixon. Kept a shape too. It wasn't a hack. That was a proper cricket shot. Moving the score to 32 with 3 balls left. And what impresses me there is Donovan has just backed it up with a solid down up too. Didn't get caught up in the excitement of that big 7. It's 9 off 2 balls. 2 balls left in this 3rd over of this partnership. The partnership is now 34. Queensland moving to 88. That's a big score. And just snuck in the leg side. Just probably kept a little low. But the ball is deemed as good by our umpire. You're still mulling over it, aren't you?
Yeah, I am. The last ball. Grabs 2. It's runs flowing here for Queensland. 16 of them off that over. Still 1 over to come. They're on an imposing 36 for this partnership. And more importantly, Moggy, 90 runs is the total. Yeah, look, I just have a hard time reconciling. You know, by rights, that 2 should be in the book. It happened. That 2 should be in the book. And this is one of a few occasions where teams have got to be hip to this stuff. You know, umpires have got to be the umpire and the scorer, and occasionally they punch the wrong button. The team coach, team manager's got to be watching that going, hang on, we just scored 2. Why is that not on the scoreboard? A lot of teams have someone that's not playing, whether it's an official or a player that's on the bench, scoring along with the umpire just for moments like that. Admittedly, he's right. Starts with a single. Admittedly, if Queensland had done that, it probably wouldn't have been a 7-ball over.
So it's probably not going to change the overall result, but it could have changed.
Yeah, it's a funny one, isn't it?
Game,
yeah, it's a funny one.
Big shot drive. Oh, good call and no. Yeah, look, it's maybe not going to change the score, but it may have changed a different approach. You know, it could have been a different batter on strike for a certain delivery.
Absolutely.
We may not have played that delivery the same way or differently.
Well, to that point, as a consequence of that being missed, Orzio faced the first ball of the subsequent over. Yeah. It was 3rd ball and a dismissal.
Yeah.
Whereas by rights, it should have been Doble on strike.
And Doble, the more experienced player, you'd prefer to have in that. Yeah, I get that, yeah.
So it's just one of those things, you know.
But the thing is, we can't change that now.
No.
So it's just game on.
And the scorebook is what matters, despite the fact there's video evidence there was that extra 2. That's a no ball too high. plus the runs. They'll get the delivery and all 4 of those runs as well.
How good is Queensland going in this pair here? They're really putting on a massive score. 43. There's 3 balls to come. Getting close to a team total of 100 runs as well. So this is a great pair for Queensland.
Oh, Matt, I can't believe it. I mean, you always expect something like this from Queensland, but this pair has absolutely dominated, and it's been punctuated by 3 key back net shots. Yep. Second ball that Sam Dixon faced, sent it into the backcourt for 5. Peter Donovan, the second over, hits a 7. Sam Dixon, another 7 in the third, which means they can do that to the second last ball. Yeah. Unbelievable batting.
Yeah, and what this does is really takes the wind out of the sail of the Victorians here, and they really need a moment of inspiration, I think. Someone needs to stand up here for them to help control this with 1 ball remaining in this third pair.
It's a dot ball to finish. It's just inside the line. But damage done from the Queensland bats. The third skin, the premiership quarter, Stephen Mogg banks 45 runs for Queensland and have advanced them, well, just in a position where they can score 120, 100, even 130. And that's exactly where Queensland want to be. Thanks for tuning in, folks. We're live from the Ipswich Indoor Sports Centre here in Queensland. And the open section of the Indoor Cricket National Championships are rapidly drawing to their conclusion. It is the main event, the women's final, part 1 of the main event. Queensland up against Victoria. If you've just joined us, I'm Cameron Walter alongside Stephen Mogg. And with the captain, Megan Dixon, and Katrina Dixon at the crease now for Queensland, how do Victoria respond to that?
Well, this is 2 very experienced players for Queensland as well. Megan Dixon's been a member of the Australian team before, has had BBL contracts, so she's a very, very experienced player. Kat Dixon's come through the junior system, under 17s, under 21s, been an Australian rep in those teams, so they're both still very experienced players. I happen to know that these 2 ladies are going to really enjoy batting with each other. They don't get an opportunity. Megan now lives down here in Brisbane, and Kat's up in Townsville, so they don't get to spend much time with each other. This is an opportunity where the family gets to see each other a fair bit. So I know both of these are really going to enjoy the experience. And I spoke about Chelsea Gann earlier as someone that just really loves the game of cricket, is always smiling. Kat Dixon's another one of those too. She's always got a smile on her face, just always enjoying cricket. And so I'm sure both of these are going to enjoy this partnership. And we have Stacey Rockcliffe coming on to bowl to the 2 Dixon ladies.
Did the job in her first over, grabbed a pole, and she produced here.
Yeah, really nice by Megan. Just waited, plays it under her eyes, puts that one up to the top of the springs, makes it nice and easy for her younger sister Kat to run through. Victoria employing 2 players on the leg side. Nice shot, full of length ball, little bit of body contact.
Yeah, see again, she's fielding that ball. I say again because we've talked about it throughout matches. It's incumbent on Megan Dixon to run around her.
Well, she did move, but maybe a step or 2 late.
Yeah.
And Benton Ridgway, the umpire, has
told her that.
Flagged that with her.
I just think it's, see Rockcliffe. It's something that's crept into the game, particularly for bats. They feel like they're within their rights to run their line or somewhere close to their line. They're not. They're just not. They have to get away, out of the way.
Yeah, I have a feeling that rule had changed at some point in time.
Nope.
And I definitely could be wrong.
It's always been the fielder has right of way. I mean, look, always. The game's 40, 50 years old. You know, it's... I don't know if that was in rulebook version 1, but it certainly has been as long as I've been around.
Yeah, look, it is hard. I mean, player protection is obviously a big part of it. It's a wide ball. Just takes the pressure off a little bit. 2 easy runs for Queensland. These indoor cricket courts, and I know we've discussed this a lot, are a very confined space. There's not a lot of room, and when there's bodies flying left, right and centre, it is hard to find a way around. In the majority of cases, any contact, there's no intent there.
It's not relevant. There's 2 to finish the over 10 runs from it. I've seen moments like that, what we just saw, and I'll accept your point. Zero intent or malice there. But I've seen things like that end tournaments for people. All right? Yeah. The fielder has the right to expect to be able to go as hard as possible at the ball without being interfered with. Running your line or not, that's just how the rule is, and that's why the rule is there. And I clearly, I guess over the last couple of days you've been a bit surprised by that. The point that I'm making about how that's interpreted, that's the point I'm making. There is this perception that you can run your line or it's all about intent or no, it's not about that at all. And I think that's crept into the game to the detriment of the safety of the fielders. And here's Campion.
I'm not disputing the rule, the interpretation of the rule. My comment is more in the heat of the moment, in the context of the game. Sometimes there's just nowhere to go. I mean,
appreciate that, but people need to be prepared to be penalised. That's just a fact of life. Because I think you'll find that if here's
the other shot.
Yeah. Quality shot from the captain. I think if that is more actively policed, people will find a way.
Yeah, I think there's the key.
Yeah.
And I don't think it is perhaps enough. And maybe the umpire, in general, obviously the umpires at this level do have a very good understanding of the rules, but nice shot by Cat Dixon. But maybe the umpires at the level below this, our Super League and some of the in-house umpires, maybe don't understand that rule as well. Perhaps if there was a harder stance on it and more penalties were handed out, like it might be harsh to some people, but it's within the rules, so therefore if there was more penalties handed out, people would be more aware and make a more conscious effort.
And that's, there it is, right? Another wire from Megan Dixon it is this time. You can make a conscious effort. At the moment, the priority of the batter, irrespective of the safety of the fielder, is to make good their ground. If they know the priority has to be to avoid the fielder and secondary concern is making good their ground, which is what the rule is intended to do, they will find a way. They could be running as hard and straight as possible and have to divert in another direction. That's going to cost them time and possibly their wicket, but that's what it should be.
Yeah, look, I think if that's, that is the case, but then if umpires are going to interpret the rule that way, which they should, because that's part of the rules, but they're going to police it that way.
Oh, it's out. We'll come back to that, Moggy. There's something from nothing there. It just spilled back to the keeper. And they whipped the bails off, does Matty Wright. I think just the net did all the fielding. Yeah. And it's out.
So I guess the point I'll make is there might be a situation with field, if umpires start to enforce that rule a little bit stronger, then fielders may start to take advantage of that situation as well and put themselves in a position where they're not necessarily in the play for the ball and put pressures under the umpires in that circumstance as well. And I guess one of the things, if you hit the ball, if your batting partner hits the ball onto the offside and you're running that direction, you're generally watching perhaps where the ball is and the fielder on that offside. If there's a leg side fielder that comes across, your vision, you can't see 360 degrees sometimes. So that's part of the challenge as well.
Here's Balch, penultimate over the innings. Beats the Queensland captain first ball.
This has been a fairly good effort by the Victorians just to keep this last pair in check. Could have easily run away with this Queensland by putting on a massive score. They're only 13. There are 11 balls to come. Team total of 112.
Oh, Campion does it again. Runs out her opposite number at the top end. Another huge wicket. They're fighting back here, the Vicks, as they tend to do. And the final is alive.
It's a really big wicket in the context of the game. It's 2 in a row there pretty much for the Victorians. And it's given them some momentum and some impetus now. Queensland 8 for this pair. 10 balls remaining.
Side does some of the good work.
Yeah, that's with the leg side wide there. 3 balls remaining in this over. Queensland on 10 for the skin, 109 for the total. Still in a fairly strong position. Another leg side wide.
2 of them in a row. That really does hurt.
Yeah, it certainly does. It's undone some of that really good work earlier in the over, and it's just making things a little bit easier for Queensland. Queensland now have to work pretty hard to get that total to 120, but without those couple of wickets, they're probably looking for a 130 plus. And it's flat. Good bit of fielding by the keeper. Again, the net's doing a lot of fielding here.
You've got to be careful if you hit it that square. That time they made it, the Queenslanders.
Yeah, well, the nets here are generally pretty tight. So this facility here is owned by the Ipswich Show Society. So whenever there's the Ipswich Show, which was only about a month or so ago, they actually drop all of the nets and they use this as part of the show facility. So part of that is, so watch this ball, close to the leg side line, but stays inside. So part of that is they obviously have to drop all the nets and rehang all the nets, so they get a chance to tighten the nets on a regular basis, on a yearly basis. Some other facilities don't do that. Obviously, there is maintenance required on the nets and the carpets and all that sort of stuff, but yeah, it doesn't get done yearly, whereas here it does.
So 1 over remains in the Queensland innings. They've already accumulated an imposing 113. Tomorrow will bowl the last over. Again, the national title remains on the line.
Yeah, Victoria would like another couple of wickets here. Not just to keep the score in check, but to give them some confidence going in to their batting innings. And Queensland would just like to consolidate, perhaps look for another 7 runs to hit 120.
What a shot to start the over.
Beautiful. I love that by Kat Dixon. She's worked really hard to play that one. Bit of in-swing bowling. Just floated up there a bit, but used her feet well. Bangs that into the top of the net for 2 easy runs. Bringing in Megan Dixon onto strike.
Straight back to Montague on the 3 line.
Yeah, a little
dot ball.
Yeah, it was a little bit flat, but a good early call and didn't risk the run. Nice shot, well weighted.
Yeah, comfortable 2 to the Queensland skipper. Move ever closer to that magical 120. With 3 balls left in the innings.
I think 120 will be slightly above par. A very difficult score to chase, but Victorians will give it everything they have. Was that 3?
I think it is. What a great shot. It has been called 3. It did hit the wire. High scoring zone counts. And with 2 to come, they are on 120.
Yeah, beautiful shot there by Kat Dixon. 2 to come. Is there another big shot here to really push the score ahead?
Driven. Not interested in the run, and rightly so. Campion's come up with a couple of big plays there at the back net. Take that opportunity away from here. 1 ball remains in this first innings.
Full ball.
Throw is wild. They'll take 2 off the last ball and post 122 batting first. Queensland in this women's grand final here at the 2023 Indoor Cricket National Championships. Thank you so much for joining us. Hope you are enjoying the live coverage from the Ipswich Indoor Sports Centre. I'm Cameron Walter, with me, Stephen Mogg. And what a thrilling run chase it will be if Victoria do indeed get these runs here in the national final. This is the first part of our main event. Second part will kick off from 4 p.m. Eastern Time. It will be the men's turn, the Australian Capital Territory up against Queensland. Again, national title on the line. Hope you can stay with us. And again, that you are enjoying the coverage. 122 runs on the board, Moggy. Gee, that's going to be tough to chase.
Yeah, look, it is a massive score. It's been an excellent innings there by Queensland. But I won't discount Victoria here. Like, there is a national title on the line. There's nothing to lose, so I'm sure they're going to have a red-hot crack. just take one note out of that last batting pair. Obviously, Megan Dixon, the senior sister, the captain of the Queensland team, she only scored 5 in that partnership of 23. So her younger sister, Kat, scoring 18 of those runs. So I'm sure over the Christmas lunch at some point in time, Kat will remind Meg of that. I have no doubts of that, not in a malicious way at all. But yeah, look, this is the key here for Victoria is getting off to a really good start. They need to build a score. They need to not lose wickets. As we see that wickets create a bit of a buzz around a team. So they just need to work hard. And there's nothing wrong with having a dot ball here and that. It's better than losing a wicket. You know, if we look at the scores, it's going to be an average of about 30 odd per partnership. Although the skins aren't relevant in this particular case in a grand final, it just gives you a bit of a gauge of where you need to be throughout the game. What sets it apart here is Queensland in their third pair, the premiership quarter, were successful in hitting 45 runs, which was an excellent result. And that's what's contributed to such a big score here from Queensland.
Yeah, it will be interesting. You are right, Moggy, that Victoria need to get off to a great start. It'll be interesting to see the approach they take with their batting lineup here. We've seen a couple of sides, not in the finals today, but perhaps yesterday and throughout the years, leave too much firepower right to the end, and by the time they come out to bat, there's too much to do. The Victorian side have got some batting depth, so you know they probably are in a position where they can back their plan, their pre-game plan, to get the side to a position where the last pair can win the game, and that's what it's all about. But if things don't go to plan, it just will be interesting to see if they modify their approach at all and change up the order. Matty Wright and Adelaide Campion, I dare say they were written down to come out first. This will be a rock-solid opening start for Victoria. I think Queensland will have something to say about that, though. So an exciting run chase coming up here. Thanks again for joining us. The women's national title on the line. Victoria will need 123 to take the title away from Queensland, who have won the last 4 titles in this division. And, well, the last time someone other than Queensland or Victoria won this was way back in the year 2000.
Right.
It's been Queensland and Victoria ever since.
I find that surprising. South Australia is a pretty handy team. I would have thought they would have got the chocolates on at least one of those occasions.
They've never won it.
Really? Surprising.
So Sam Dixon gets us back underway. The run chase begins. Madeline Wright starts with a 2.
It's a nice shot. Just Sam Dixon there probably hurt a little bit on the length. The line was pretty good, just a little bit short, and they was paddled around for a lovely 2. Good way to get the confidence up for the Victorians in this run chase. Just noodles that one around the corner.
Nothing wrong with a noodle. It's a staple Cameron Walter shot, that is.
Yeah, I believe they're suggesting it came off the bat, but Ben Ridgway, our umpire, has just called that 1. It's wider outside our stump. Bread and butter there. Beautiful shot by Madeline Wright.
Quality bat, Matty Wright, has been for a while.
Yeah, both these.
Oh, yeah, Addie Campion for sure.
Look, both teams bat across all 8 players.
That's right.
It's not like you can sit there and say Queensland can get out the third pair. You know?
Yeah, that's right.
See, I know here.
2 balls remaining.
Yeah.
Just want to focus in on that point you've just made, Moggy, about the batting depth. We'll just see this delivery.
What shot.
Oh, it was a great shot. One of the things that I think has improved significantly in the women's game over the last 20 years that I've been around is that depth. In earlier years, you know, there was 1 or 2 that maybe weren't up to standard with the bat, or 1 or 2 that weren't up to standard with the ball. There's a leg side there to close out the over. A great start for Victoria, 11 runs from it. What's evident now is that certainly these 2 teams, the finalists, all 8 on the court can bat, all 8 on the court can bowl, all 8 can field. And I just mean at a national standard.
Yeah.
And that depth in these teams is one of the, that's what I'm calling out, has been an improvement over decades, mind you, in the women's game, and brilliant to see.
Well, I think the key to the depth of any team is you have a look at the quality that's on the bench.
Definitely.
And, you know, there's still some quality players on both benches here. I mean, Queensland have a lot of rookies this year, but they've still performed quite well. Lilia Wizio coming in to bowl, just pushes that one for a leg side wide. And at this point in time, the Victorians are off to a, I won't say a flying start, but a very solid start, just probably slightly ahead of the game where they need to be, but it's a good start either way.
Well, it's just the difficulty in such a big run chase is maintaining that over all 4 partnerships.
Yeah.
Finds the net.
Stable chase that one pretty hard, but it's just come up a little bit short. Yeah, look, you'd say, you know, an 11-run opening over, if they were chasing 80, it means puts them in front of the game.
Definitely.
But because of the score, it's still even Stevens. Level pegging at the moment. So Victoria has been looking to keep building a score. They do probably need one pair to push pretty hard, close to that 40. Good bowling.
I've said before, I'll say again, it's about giving the last pair a chance to win the game.
Yep.
So, you know, even if they're around about 80 after 12 overs, the last pair can win the game. 10 and over is not a big ask when the pressure's on the bowling side. Wizio continues.
Beautiful shot.
Yeah, Addy Campion. Yeah. Beautiful shot, as you say. On the offside there, down up 2.
Yeah, lovely shot. Victorian opening pair here have not been troubled at this point in time. Everything seems a little bit easy for them. Shot again. Just giving a little bit too much width, I feel, outside the off stump. Just probably need to tighten the line up a little bit. These 2 batting really well. 1 to come in the second over.
How about that? Addy Campion loving every minute of it. What a way to finish the over. Another 11-run over. 22 on the board after 2.
Yeah, great start by the Victorians. They'll be really happy with that. The trick is they have to maintain it, but like it's such a big score to chase. So Queensland probably like a wicket here just to stop that momentum moving. And that's the thing, if this first pair comes out with his 40, which are on track to do at this point in time, it really instills a lot of confidence in the 3 pairs to come. Whereas if Queensland can keep them around that 20 mark, it just puts that little bit more pressure on what's to come. Kat Dixon coming in to bowl the 3rd over.
Starts with the leg side. What's happened there? Is the ball gone dead? It has. So, will the leg side stand?
It should do, because it...
Well, it hasn't left the court off the hands of a fielder. I thought that was the distinction. So, yeah, I think you'll find they're saying...
Didn't come off the keeper's hands?
Well, apparently not. So, yeah, my understanding of the rule, and I'm fuzzy on this one, but it's only if the ball, you know, off deliberate play from the fielder leaves the court, that what has happened at that point stands. But that left the court after the ball. It was leg side. And instead of a leg side now, that becomes a dot. So...
Good outcome for Queensland.
Yeah, Addy Campion within her rights to be frustrated by that outcome.
But rules are rules.
No, I'll tell that to the batters that don't avoid the fielder, mate.
Ooh,
2 runs to
judge.
Campion. Yeah, right was home.
Four balls left. Victoria moving to 24. Playing nice and calmly at the moment. In control of this innings. Just another single. Keeps the scoreboard ticking over.
Width there for Campion, and Guides it to the offside net for 2.
Yeah, moving along nicely. Again, the skins aren't relevant. Queensland hit 29 in their first skin. And so far, Victoria on track to get a score very similar. Probably slightly above that.
That's a great shot from right. Turning the bat as she played the shot. That usually comes with an element of risk. Probably not enough pace on the ball for her to feel in danger by doing that. And a wonderful down up 2 on the onside. There's a quicker, fuller delivery there from Kat Dixon to close out the over. It's a dot ball. Still another good one for Victoria. 7 runs from it. 1 over remains in this opening partnership here in this run chase, the Women's National Final. Coming at you live from the Ipswich Indoor Sports Centre. And now that we are in the main event, how about the team here at Ipswich? What a fantastic event they've put on for us. The venue's looking great. The staff are here all day, long days, working long hours, and smile on their face all the time, not complaining. And an appreciative crowd.
It's a massive crowd here.
It's a packed house. And an appreciative commentator or two here as well.
Yeah, no, it's been excellent.
Here's Ash Doble.
Oh, is it going to sneak through? Good start by Ash Doble. This is one of the Queensland big guns coming on the bowl now to try and just suffocate this opening pair, just to keep the runs pretty tight, hopefully squeeze a wicket or 2. Yeah, look, from a centre facility point of view, like, it's a massive operation. You know, games are generally from 10 in the morning to sometimes 10 at night. You know, there's a lot of maintenance to keep up with, a lot of cleaning, a lot of tidying. All that one's kept very low.
Oh, and what about the adjustment from Maddie Wright? It's hit that spot on the court, absolute mully grubber, and she's reacted to that. That is reflexes of a cat.
Yeah, play that really well. So, yeah, there's so much to go into, you know, these sort of big carnivals like this. And, you know, you think, oh, it's coming to an end, the Open's about to end, and you know what, we've got another 7 or 8 days with the juniors to come.
Oh, that is quality from Maddie Campion. The Victorian skipper waited perfectly, smacks her down up 3 on the offside. Beautiful indoor cricket shot. They moved to 33 with 3 balls remaining.
Yeah, very good shot. Nice and solid. Queensland would love a wicket here just to peg them back a little bit.
Sent back. Gee, I think she's used her hand to try and make her ground there because the bat was still taking longer to come around.
Good presence in the field by Kat Dixon. Just created that uncertainty.
Yeah, I think that hurt Maddie Wright. She's just taking a minute to collect herself.
Pretty solid concrete under this thin layer of carpet out here.
Concrete does tend to be solid.
There is one spot out there that I'm not sure is solid, but.
Yeah. It moves across, that'll be out. It'll have to be. They do it. Didn't need that run, Victoria. It wasn't third ball. A little bit of a brain fade there, right when they were on top. I thought they were going to go wicketless, this pair. Queensland, as I said before the innings, will they have other ideas?
Yeah, that's a big wicket. Just pegs the Victorians back. They had all the momentum going their way. Just creates a little bit of enthusiasm for the Queensland team as well. It just makes that next pair coming in recognise that it's not that easy.
Final ball. Again, the mully grubber. They get through for a single to close it out and match the first skin. Not that it matters, but 29 apiece. And, well, that's the opening 4 overs they asked for Victoria. They lost a late wicket, but still they've got off to the start they needed. And with Rockcliffe and Webber taking to the court now, they're in a position where they can chase this down. Don't go anywhere, folks. There's 12 overs left, an exciting run chase to come. Victoria up against the defending champions who are looking for their 5th title in a row. Will Victoria be able to prevent them from doing that? Time will tell. Thanks for joining us. I hope you are enjoying the coverage. I'm Cameron Walter, with me, Stephen Mogg, and what a great start for Victoria, Moggy.
Yeah, no, it has been. It's pretty, as evident with the 2 scores of 29, it's pretty level pegging. Victoria do need 30 a pair, so they're just a touch, and I mean 1 run. or 1.5 runs below what they need to be for that pair. But in saying that, they're right in the game, and that's all they've got to do. Just stay in the game, stay in the hunt, stay in the fight, and give that last pair, as you've talked about, every opportunity to win the game. If that means they've got to hit 40, they've got to hit 40. So Emily Valance now coming on the bowl.
Rockcliffe on strike. It'll be a down-up single by way of the keeper's net. Rockcliffe, as we've said before, the former Queenslander, has made the move to Victoria. Be mixed emotions for her, trying to prevent Queensland from winning a title. But one of the things I've certainly observed as I've watched her throughout the tournament is, there's no doubt in her mind she's here representing Victoria. She's still giving 110%.
Oh, she's an absolute competitor.
Oh, yeah, always has been. I was just going to say that was a big no ball front foot. And I tell you what, Rockcliffe, you see this creep into some games where they get down there and think about the second. She would have been out if that ball had hit the stumps, or even if the keeper was ready for the throw. Don't worry about the second. You've got to make the first.
That's correct.
Driven into the fielder. It'll be a single. Welcome to the front court.
Yeah, exactly right. That'll be a bruise for later. Won't hurt if the Queensland ladies are victorious here. That's a very aggressive shot by Rockcliffe. Queensland sitting out with 2 on the leg side here. I have a feeling this might be a pace-off delivery.
Driven, a diving effort from Garnt. She can't get there, and Webber banks 5. What a shot right on the edge of the V.
Yeah, that was an excellent shot. Just erred with the length. It's a little bit too full and absolutely punished by Webber. Great shot, composure, kept it low, hit it straight into the corner.
Oh, deflections, pinball going on, finds the net. It'll be 2 to close out the over. What a start, in particular, courtesy of that back net shot and the no ball, it must be said. 13 runs from the first over.
It's a great start for this pair for Victoria. Look, Queensland set up with 2 on the leg side, and again, looked like they were just going for a little bit of pace off with their bowling, but those last 2 balls just too full. Both Victorians really aggressive on the drive, keeping the ball nice and low. One resulted in a 5, and the other one was still a 2. Peter Dolman coming on the bowl. Jeremy bowls a fairly heavy ball, setting up a similar leg side field that we've seen throughout the carnival, actually, across all divisions. Short and wide outside off stump.
Just a single.
We actually saw in the Lord Taverners division, especially the last pair for Queensland, they stole about 10 runs, I think it was, or if not more.
Yeah, it was probably more than that, yeah. Absolute outlandish thievery. There's 2. It feels like an exciting finish is building here, doesn't it?
It does, yes. Almost at a bit of a lull before the storm feel, you know. Everyone just sitting here waiting for anticipation. Both teams have batted exceptionally well at this point in time. Just like everyone's just waiting for something to happen here. You know, will it take a moment of brilliance from one of the Queensland teams? One of the Queensland players here. Donovan comes in the bowl.
It's full and wide inside the line. Webber, no use of the feet. He was beaten.
Crowd's getting involved now. Just noodles that one around the corner. Oh, that was half a chance with a direct hit from Meg Dixon up the front there.
There's a single though, 1 ball remains. And another single to close out the over, still a good one for Victoria. 7 runs from it. This partnership has moved now to 20. Building nicely, Victoria. The run chase is right on track here, folks.
Yeah, it certainly is.
But the challenge for Victoria when you're chasing big runs is maintaining pace becomes very difficult if you lose regular wickets. And not that they have. They've dropped 1 wicket late in that first pair, but that's what will make it hard to stay in touch if Queensland can pounce.
Yeah. This will be an interesting over in the game here, Chelsea Garn.
Starts with a no ball off the pitch. Gee, it's good to see her in this women's team.
It is.
Having come through the ranks.
Yeah, young player. It's flat. It's a little bit of a half chance.
Yeah, on the back foot there, the Queensland field.
Yeah, I think part of that comes from Chelsea. Her strength isn't necessarily her bowling. So maybe they're just holding back a little bit, expecting the ball to come a bit faster.
Oh, finds the edge and taken. There was a quicker, flatter ball there. She's thrown a couple up, and that quicker, flatter ball, much better arc. Sure, not above the eye line, which is what you generally expect from a slower bowler, but that, I think it surprised Webber. Didn't quite know what to do to it. Finds the edge and a big wicket for Queensland.
Yeah, a little bit lazy on the shot too. Just sort of hung the bat out there. Took the edge. Very good catch, reaction catch here in the front court by Kat Dixon.
Webber responds with a wire.
And another 2 runs.
Whee, look at that. That's an absolute collision there. Sam Dixon falling over the top of Stacey Rockcliffe. Now, I think that is the definition of, okay, where can the batter possibly go when the field is sitting on you? 1 ball remains. Use of the feed, that'll be out. That's what you call a sucker ball. Not quite as much flight. Rockcliffe trying to get to the pitch of the ball. The width undid her as well. And 2 wickets fall in the over. -4 from it. And all of a sudden, Queensland are in front.
It's a big over in the context of the game. Victoria were cruising, looking for another 30-plus run partnership to put Queensland under a fair bit of pressure. But a couple of big wickets by the youngster from Queensland puts Victoria now on the back foot, being backed up here with Megan Dixon coming in to bowl, one of the more senior and experienced players within this Queensland team.
Huge over now. Final over of the partnership. Driven, deflection, and a chance. 2 chances. She's home, Webber. But what awareness there from Queensland.
Oh, that was really close.
She was home.
Definitely a hit on the first one would have left her short, but yeah, and unfortunately Chelsea Garn, just because of the deflection, was chasing where the ball was going, so it wasn't over the top of the stumps. Driven.
You see both the previous deliveries, these two looking to drive. They sense they're now behind par.
I think so.
And they're looking for a back net shot. 4 balls remain in the partnership.
Big shot.
It is again, it falls safe. I tell you what, they'd want to be careful, these two. They're trying to hit big. They can't win the game in this over, but they can certainly lose it. They drop a couple of wickets. Queensland will be well and truly in charge of the final. 3 balls remain now. That one is through and into the back net. Caught the side on the way through. 4 runs. been hunting that back net, the Victorians. 2 balls remain.
Yeah, they have. I don't necessarily think there's a massive need to take too many risks at the moment.
It's pushed inside net for 3. Chance. That'll be out. It is. The finger goes up. What a great piece of work it is behind the back sticks from Chelsea Garn. It was 3. Just a beautiful piece of fielding. The dive from Webber, not good enough. And they're back to 19. Huge wicket.
Yeah, that was massive. Great effort by Chelsea Garn up the back.
1 ball remains now in the partnership. Queensland have taken control. It's up and out. Oh, she dropped it. I can't believe it. That was a sitter, an absolute soda. She's put it down. They get away with a single and 4 runs off the final over, including a run out. This partnership managed 20 in the end, and now they're up against it. The Victorians, they'll need 2 huge partnerships if they're going to chase down Queensland's 122 here in the Women's Grand Final, the 2023 Indoor Cricket National Championships, live from the Ipswich Indoor Sports Centre. She put one down there, Chelsea Garn, but other than that, the 3 wickets in those 2 overs, she was involved in all 3 of them.
She was. And
she bowled those 2 wickets in her over, and then that good piece of fielding there in the last to come up with another wicket.
Yeah, look, I think the problem with that catch on that last ball there is she almost had too much time. I think she expected it to get to her a little bit quicker, but it just held up a little bit. So, yeah, look, that's a great result for Queensland. I mean, Victoria definitely not out of it now, but it just means that rather than each pair having to hit 30, it's now 35. So that's just the extra pressure. It's just one big shot.
Lance gets us back underway. Borch and right at the crease. Borch opens her account with that too.
Emily Vallance probably didn't have the greatest first over compared to her normal expectations, but she's got a chance to make up for it now.
It's off hands and into the net, but Victoria haven't run.
They don't like 3s. It was just that touch that created a little bit of uncertainty. The non-strikers come back. Just waited to see what happened.
Oh, chopped on. Another wicket falls. That's the 4th one in, well, gee, about 10 deliveries. And hasn't the game turned? Victoria were accumulating this run chase nicely. They're right on track. No longer.
Yeah.
Stephen Mogg.
Yeah, exactly right. It's just been the last 2 overs of the last pair capitalised with a couple of wickets. And what that's probably done is put this next pair coming in under a fair bit of pressure. The task is getting tough here for the Victorians. Nice shot. There's still every chance that Victoria can be competitive in this game and bring it down to that last skin, but they've just got to work really hard.
Well, they need to get to 80. Simple as that. Yeah, good awareness that time. Both from right to call through for Borch to turn and look and react to the call. 1 ball remains.
Yeah, and to get to that score of 80, it's only 10 runs and over from here. For Victoria to win this, that's what they need all the way through.
Should be out. Yeah. Too clean. The shot was flat. And great movement in the front court there. Not only to gather the ball quickly off the net, but an efficient disposal. Clean hands behind the sticks. And Queensland effect another run out. And that brings the over to an end. -5 from it. Victoria in deep trouble now.
Yeah, look, that's 5 wickets in the last 3 overs, and that's just really hard to come back from. They've stayed in the fight, but that's a problem. You're chasing a big score like this, to maintain it for 16 overs of the game is such a hard thing.
Absolutely right. Katrina Dixon will bowl over number 10. Queensland in the box seat here for a 5th title on the trot.
there's another lowie taking that spot again outside off stump. There's not much you can do with that.
No, but definitely nothing you can do if you don't get your feet out there. If you're across to play that shot, even at the length you're expecting to come through, you can adjust. Can't adjust from an a leg stump stance. Two to right.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, I guess if you get across, you can play with a straighter bat.
That's right.
Rather than an angle bat.
We saw Maddie Wright do one. Granted, she didn't have to get across to it because it was straighter, but she adjusted late to do exactly that, the vertical bat.
Yeah.
You can't do that if you're a metre away from the line of the ball. Through for a single?
Yeah, not shot for one. But Victoria going to have to start looking towards this end of the court down, towards the back to just get a few big shots in and start to build that score back up again. Nice shot. Moving the score back for this pair, back to 0. Two balls to come.
It's comfortable two that time, and one ball remains. Gee, what a rock that is. Back in at Balch. Excuse me, it was Tamsin Wright. Again, score sheet has the batters around the wrong way.
It's a really good over. Then again from the Queenslanders, keeping this pair to 2 runs. Pete Donovan coming on to bowl the next over.
Well, what's the answer here? We've talked about giving your last pair an opportunity to win the game. I don't think they can do that needing 50. I think they can do it needing 40. So Victoria have got to go here. They've got to get 30 runs off the next 2 overs. That's going to require some aggression.
I think it's picking the ball back. You know, you're going to get one ball that's probably a little bit full. Drive it hard into the corners. Hopefully you get a second that can do that again as well. Side wide. So yeah, look, I think you just can't have wild flays at the ball and play silly shots. You've got to be calculated in how you do it, because obviously if you lose wickets, it just puts more pressure on them and makes that further away.
It's hit twice.
But now that's, yeah, so look, if the ball's full enough, by all means, drive it hard, try and get into the back corners of the court. Probably need to do that like a couple of times, probably 3 times, I think, over the next 10 balls.
Well, they're not going to get 3 bad balls.
They might.
Well, I don't think they are, and that's kind of why I asked the question: do they just thrown into the bowler? Do they force the issue?
Well, if you don't think you're going to get those 3 balls, I think you have to.
Yeah.
And it might just be a simple thing, like it might be moving around the crease a little bit. Maybe give yourself, take a step back as the bowler comes in, just to make her think about what she's doing, to free her arms a little bit, or taking a few steps forward. And again, driving the ball hard into the corners. If you're coming forward and want to be aggressive, you don't always have to go in the air. You can still play right into the corners, along the ground. But yeah, they need to do something. You're right. With 8 balls left in their skin.
And they're 24 runs away from being where we think they need to be at a bare minimum.
Yeah. Shorter length ball.
I mean, that's a great shot, but it's not enough at this point.
No, that's right.
Yeah.
So the task is looking pretty tough here for the Victorian women's team here. They need to conjure up something pretty special. Who's a player that can do that for them?
Last ball of the over. Oh, it'll be a dot. Diving effort from Doble there. 7 runs off the over. So again, another good one for Victoria, but it's just not enough. We've moved this partnership back to 9. So a couple of positive overs certainly helpful, but they just need a huge over here.
Yeah, with someone like Ash Doble bowling, I can't see that happening.
Nor can I. And the ACT men's side are in the house, ahead of part 2 of the main event. Live from 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Doble gets us back underway. The dot ball to start, and third ball. 2 consecutive dots. The score has to change on the third ball.
Victoria needs something special from here on in.
Ball gets through for a single.
That one's off the leg, just popped up. Probably the advantage of that is it took a bit of pace off it, so Sam Dixon had to wait to actually get the ball in hand. Returned quickly, good throw, but Victoria were able to get through for the single.
They've got to hit the back net, they've got to hit it now, at least to try to. There it is, but it'll be down, up, dot.
That was probably the ball too. I just missed that opportunity, unfortunately. But that's the challenging thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's all well and good to say, hey, you need to hit the back net. Doing it is another thing entirely.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And when you get someone like Ash Doble, who you think is going to bowl 6 really good balls, and she just does miss one, you're not really expecting it.
Yeah.
Because you're thinking that, oh no, I'm going to have to do this, whereas you do get a bad ball, you need to be able to punish it. But that becomes instinct too. Well, that is the halfway mark with 26 balls remaining.
It's up and taken, a great catch from Gunn at the back. They're pumped. She dropped what you would say is an easy one. She comes up with a screamer like that one, and she loves every minute of it.
Yeah, she's such an excitable young lady.
Yeah.
She loves it.
She's hunting back here. An appreciative Ash Doble as well. 1 ball to come now in this third partnership. Queensland, in the space of, well, the 6-over period here, they've won the game basically.
Yeah, they've turned the game on its head.
Yeah. A single to finish. This partnership finishes with 8. And we'll need to hit 66 runs to win. Danielle Montague and Damaro will be batting last for Victoria. Well, if nothing else, will be entertaining, folks, so stay with us. The conclusion to this women's division at the 2023 Indoor Cricket National Championships coming at you live from the Ipswich Indoor Sports Centre here in Queensland. I'm Cameron Walter, with me is Stephen Mogg, and coming up next, 4 p.m. Eastern Time, it is the conclusion of the tournament, or the Opens component anyway, the men's grand final. Part 2 of the main event. The Australian Capital Territory up against Queensland. You can see they're also here in the building. Glance over there, the 2 coaches of the men's sides, Billy Floros and Brenton Bryan over there having a chat ahead of the game. How must their nerves be? So stick around for the afternoon. Plenty more indoor cricket action left to come from Ipswich Indoor Sports, and whether you stay with us for this game or that game or both, gee, it's a pleasure having you with us.
Yeah.
Damaro and Montague at the crease here. Sam Dixon.
Oh, straight through.
Sorry, Moggy, I cut you off then.
Yeah, that's right, mate. Look, pretty much Victoria have no option but to throw the bat at everything here now. Like, there's no harm in going down swinging. It's a national title. You could just do something crazy. You know, you get away with 2 or 3 early, puts the Quenders under a little bit of pressure at the moment. It's just going to be too easy. But Sammy Dixon up to the task. 2 dot balls to start, putting Victorians on the third ball. Now Sammy changing to around the wicket. Third ball. Good shot.
Yeah, Damaro up to the challenge.
But yeah, really, I mean, you can sit here and hit 2s and make yourself look good, and you know, but what's the point? Have a dip, and you got to go now.
Yeah, absolutely. From ball 1.
Oh, it's done a fair bit off the deck. Queensland is all in control of this game at the moment. Victoria started particularly well. Tried a little paddle around the corner just inside the leg side. First 6 overs, Victoria were right in this game. It was game on, and then just Queensland turned it on. 3 key wickets at the back end of that second pair, and Queensland have been able to maintain taking wickets at regular intervals.
It is third ball. Get through for a single. Just 3 runs off that opening over. They remain some 63 runs away. Victoria. Queensland have got all the answers.
They have at this point in time, that's for sure. Megan Dixon now coming on to bowl. She'll leave Chelsea Garn and Lily Awizio.
Occurs to me that's probably a Vizio.
Is it, sorry?
Pronounced Orzio. It was probably a Vizio. I don't know if that's how she pronounces it these days, but I suggest that's how it was originally pronounced.
From many years ago?
Yeah. I must ask her after the game, but you're right. She will have an over left. 2 runs off the first ball of the Queensland captain.
Aggressive
Off
shot.
hands. Oh, look at that. Not sure the keeper had the ball cleanly then.
I think she did.
She did.
Maybe a
It was
little
unsighted.
fumble.
Yeah.
A direct hit would have been very interesting, but time it takes the keeper to...
Yeah, she certainly did get it cleanly. It was just
A little bit of
from
traffic.
height.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, had to get the ball from high down low.
Nice shot. Oh, I might kick that for the back net. Yes. Queensland well and truly in control. You can see they're seeming to be enjoying this a little bit more at the moment. A little bit of the pressure is off.
Oh, look at that. A little touch straight onto the stumps. When it rains, it pours, and it's all Queensland at the moment. Easily accounting for Victoria here in the national final.
Yeah, certainly. And as much as we want to have a close game where we can sit there and call it right to the end and be on the edge of their seats, and the fans at the venue, fans at home too, this is a pretty special moment for the Queensland women's team. They get to really enjoy the next couple of overs and enjoy the moment. Enjoy each other's success as well. So there's 1 ball to come in this Megan Dixon over. Victoria, team total is 61. The halfway mark again for that 122. That's just too much from the Queensland Open Ladies team.
Edged. And what a diving effort that is from Doble. There's some 60 runs ahead, still diving with desperation to affect the wicket. It is a dot though, 1 run off the over, 12 balls remain in the national final. And Queensland in 5 finals today, as you know, and they've won 2 from 3 so far, about to go 3 from 4.
Oh, yes. So it's a very good result for Queensland up until this point in time. I'd like to hope, I'm sure the crowd will hope too, that continues into our last game. I guarantee you won't agree with me. Bit of flights and chairs.
Oh, she done it again. No, it's safe.
Ooh.
It's very tight. She's got that... she must have a magnet or something in the stumps there, Chelsea Garn. Just from anywhere, she can flick those bails off, can't she?
Yeah, she's been really good. I mean, there was that 1 drop catch, but otherwise she's been really good.
Yeah, and Garnett was that started the turn. Up until her first over, Victoria were right in the run chase. Came up with the goods, 2 wickets involved in a run out off the next over. Down up sweep.
Nice shot. 3 balls remaining in Chelsea Garn's over.
Advanced, bit of footwork. Single.
There was a lot going on for a single there. Yeah, Queensland going to walk away with a very good victory here. Full about throwing.
She wound up there. Just held on to it at the end. I'm not sure if the cameras caught that. I think they did. Very good. Last ball for Chelsea Garn.
Nice use of the feet.
Yeah, finds the side net for 2, brings the over to an end. 1 over remains now in the women's national final. We'll wrap up commentary at the conclusion of this over, but you can stay on the stream for the presentations of the medals and the shields to our national champions. And I've said before, I'll say again, don't forget, part 2 of our main event coming up next from 4 p.m. Australian Eastern Time. It's the Australian Capital Territory up against the defending champions Queensland in the men's grand final. That will be a blockbuster indoor cricket match. I hope you can join us for that. But before then, let's soak up the last 6 balls of this Queensland victory here in the women's final.
Julio Wizio coming in to bowl. Bit of
Finds
an
the edge. Oh.
Almost a mix-up and a chance. Oh, look, put this down to a clinical batting performance by Queensland. You know, it's ages they were in a little bit of trouble in a couple of pairs, but worked hard. You know, their lowest skin of 23, but that third pair, the premiership quarter, as you referred to it as, 45, really blew the game open. And 122 was always going to be a massive task. And Queensland have just stuck to it, you know. Victoria came out of the blocks really strongly. First 6 overs of their chase were right in the mix, and then 1 big over from Chelsea Garn, a couple of wickets, and there's just been consistent falling of wickets ever since then. So full credit to the Queensland women's team. It's been an excellent result for them. Thoroughly deserving of their victory here. Will this be rebowled? Are we rebowling the ball?
Yeah, you absolutely have to
Value
do that.
for money?
Yeah,
You
absolutely.
haven't played enough cricket over the last 7 days?
No, no.
So, yeah, Queensland, full credit to them. They've been excellent this week. Only dropping the 1 game throughout the round robins.
Winning the one that counts.
Exactly right. That's all you need to do. Full credit to Victoria. They've been
No
pretty
ball,
good.
but it'll be out. They still have the option of having that ball again, but Queensland just ramming home this victory here.
You know, Victoria have been pretty good throughout the carnival as well. They've probably the downside for them, and it may have impacted the result here, as they've had to play the last couple of games have been very tough games. Obviously had to play the preliminary final yesterday, which was a very close game against South Australia, and the night before it was a very tough game against Queensland, and that was almost like a major semi in a way, because the winner of that game got to finish on top.
Yeah. So they are having that delivery again, even though there was a wicket off it, so there's still 3 balls remaining in the national final. Two runs to tomorrow. 2 to come now. It's 2 balls separating Queensland from the 2023 national title.
I think there'll be a loud cheer when the opportunity arises. More chance. Oh, dropped the bat. Was grounded at the key moment when the bails were taken off.
And the final ball now of the women's national final. It's edged, it falls safe, they run through for a single, and there it is. Queensland are your five-time national champions. What a victory it is for them here at the 2023 National Carnival. A dominant performance with the bat, and they never went anywhere with the ball, just kept going and attacking at Victoria until they cracked. And they've run out convincing victors in the end. Our congratulations to them. Commiserations to Victoria. It's only a matter of time until that side comes back and takes this title away from Queensland. But, gee, they're going to have to work hard to do it. Folks, I hope you have enjoyed the coverage of this game. As said before, I'll say again, the main event continues from 4 p.m. Eastern with the men's grand final, Australian Capital Territory up against Queensland. So don't go anywhere. Stick around on the stream for the presentation of the shield and the medals to your 5-time national champions. But until then, for Sportscast Australia, for Cricket Australia, and for Stephen Mogg, I'm Cameron Walter. Thanks for watching.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for our two national finalists, Queensland and Victoria. Our commiserations, of course, to Victoria. They haven't come away with the title today, but they are a fantastic team of legendary individuals. Please, ladies and gentlemen, congratulate the 2023 national runners-up, Victoria. Time